Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the channel. Tobin here with you. If you guys could subscribe here and also subscribe to the Tobin and Leroy Show weekdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can find that on the WQAM YouTube channel as well as Professional Speaker here. You could also find Game Day Uncensored, myself, Omar Kelly, Alejandro Solana. We will be coming on at 4 o'clock. So if you guys want to flip us on there, you're annoyed by the 4 o'clock slate, and you guys want to watch us there, or you can listen on the Odyssey app, whatever you want to get you ready for Dolphins and Patriots on Sunday Night Football. We will get into all aspects of this game, all aspects. And we got a very interesting guest joining the program as well, which I'm very excited to bring on to the program. And a couple things of note, it's like put a bow on a day for the Dolphins as they are getting ready for New England. Apparently there may be a hurricane that's going to brisk by New England, but it seems like maybe Sunday will avoid the worst of it. But the final injury report has come out for the Miami Dolphins. Let's take a little looky-loo at that one. As the Miami Dolphins, of course, the big question I think out of everything is, how is Teron Armstead? Where is he at with everything? And according to this, he is officially listed as questionable for the game. So not doubtful. Not doubtful after doing limited practice. Mike McDaniel did reveal that he was in team drills this week. So maybe we are getting to a point where Teron Armstead is actually going to find his way into the starting lineup for the Miami Dolphins. If they didn't, though, I wouldn't blame them. I would not blame them. Omar Kelly, again, you'll be able to hear me with him on Sunday. He talked to Teron Armstead, or has a quote from him afterwards. Says, "Good week of work. Happy to be back out there. We'll see what happens on Sunday night." But according to Omar, that he has been moving well out there in practice, and so hopefully we will see number 72 out there. But I would not blame the Dolphins if they want to get a little greedy and try and scope it out by a day. Elijah Campbell, he remained limited in practice as he was all week. He is questionable. Julian Hill, same thing. Jalen Phillips was, I guess, the only big change today because he was not on the injury report. He was fine, and then he popped up, had a limited practice today, and he's listed as questionable. So he's dealing apparently with a back injury. So Julian Hill, ankle, Elijah Campbell, knee, Teron Armstead, everything. And so that is your big update there as far as this is concerned. As far as the Patriots, Trent Brown and Sadiq So, their offensive linemen who are in concussions, they have not practiced all week. They are listed as questionable for this game. Devontae Parker was limited in practice all week with a knee. He's questionable for this game. But a lot of their offensive linemen, all of them are really banged up with something. But their center looks like he's good to go. He doesn't have a game status worry on there. So that's going to be an interesting thing to check out with the Miami Dolphins. I did see, though, this was interesting. Tyreek Hill, who, the Cheetah, you got to love him as far as just a character in football. Like, if you want to just go best characters in football right now, first of all, his play on the field is dynamic. But second of all, he's just like, he's a troll, man. Like, he just loves to just throw stuff out there and stir it on up. And so there was this video that was put out by, I guess, Chris Perkins that he commented on from one of these aggregating places. And I guess he was asked about Tyreek Hill asking Dolphin fans to show up at Gillette Stadium and call Mac Jones sorry. He says, "We need that. The juice each and every play to come out, be loud, and just boo the other team. Call Mac Jones sorry, please. That would be great." Which is hilarious because, like, he's not calling Mac Jones sorry. Wink. But he's saying the fans should show up and call him sorry on the road. And, I don't know how many more Dolphin fans are going to travel to Gillette than they would at L.A., but it would be a pretty funny thing to see. And Tyreek Hill commented on this. He said, "I love Mac Jones, by the way. He's top 5 worst gritty in the league." And that's true. In fact, you maybe have two superpowers unlike any other between him and Mike Gesicki, both stepping out there. And, I'm sure the Dolphins want to avoid a revenge game at all costs. No revenge games going. But I will say I liked a couple of things from the coaching staff that I've heard over the last couple of days, both from Fangs and from Mike McDaniel. First of all, from Vic Fangio. I like the fact that Vic Fangio went out there this week because he was kind of giving the rope to the team by media and say, oh, are your guys adjusting? Are you guys, is there, could it be, I guess, expected that you guys are adjusting to a new system? He goes, adjusting. He goes, that's a convenient narrative, which I like. It's kind of like the old way of saying like, that's a lame excuse. He goes, it's a convenient narrative. And I like the fact that Vic Fangio is not doing it on that. And I think that, I had some viewers, listeners who were like, Vic's got a tougher defense. They'll figure it all out. Maybe, yeah. But I do think that last week pissed Vic Fangio off because he was the big acquisition. There's not really a honeymoon period for Vic Fangio. I said last year with Mike McDaniel that I thought there was pressure on Mike McDaniel year one because most coaches inherit a trash roster. You look at like Jonathan Gannon in Arizona, who everybody's just making fun of his press conferences. Seems like a weird guy, right? But he's got a crap roster. He's got to play with no quarterbacks. They seemingly are shamelessly tanking. And that's a tough thing for a coach to endure. We saw that with Flores. Like Brian Flores had to endure that. Wasn't easy. Dolphins definitely took a lot more heat for it than the Cardinals seem to be. But, that just seems, the people seem to pick on South Florida when it comes to that type of stuff. Dolphins, they're endangering players. Cardinals, they're just trying to get Caleb Williams. Go figure. But with Mike McDaniel, I said last year, like, look, the guy is getting a good roster. He got a roster, a 9-win team last year. He better match it. And by a whisker, they were able to do it. Even though that they had a lot of lulls and losing streaks in there. And I like this from Mike McDaniel today because Mike McDaniel was asked about the idea of being praised a lot this week. And that the Dolphins are now, favorites in the East. Betting lines have them as favorites in the East. Tua is the co-betting favorite for MVP with Patrick Mahomes. So it was asked, is there an overwhelming need? Is there a need to address this with your team? And he said that last year he had the urge to get proactive with it. But he goes, but with this year, I haven't felt the need with this team just because, honestly, I feel like they understand a one-win team, quote, is not a very good team. There's a lot more. You have to win a lot of games, and that's hard in the NFL. He goes on to say that he thought like last year was a big help. But I like that from Mike McDaniel. Like there cannot be fat cat syndrome from this Dolphins team. I felt like last year, especially the LA Chargers game, I felt like the Dolphins waltzed into that game feeling themselves a little bit. They got outcompeted, and they got embarrassed. I just think that the Dolphins do look at this matchup. There is a level of you have to be careful. You do have to be looking at this and saying to ourselves, hey, we can't blow this one. We can't do what we did against LA last year and have ourselves this bad performance because we were feeling ourselves a little bit. There's nothing to feel here. The Dolphins need to go take care of their business. They're a better team than the Patriots. The Patriots are banged up too. You very clearly have a big offensive advantage. Yeah, maybe the wind or the rain may be a bit of an issue, but look, you've been talking about wanting to balance things out this whole time. You have weapons and speed all over the place, and you have the better quarterback. You had a good offensive line performance last week. You may be getting reinforcements there, and holy hell, the defense needs to give you something better. So all of that stuff considered, I like the fact that there is awareness from both the head coach and the defensive coordinator that they cannot rest on, we're figuring things out. We're just feeling it. We can't have an overlook game. Not the Patriots, dude. And I honestly, in a lot of ways, think that this is going to be a tougher game than LA because, one, much tougher place to play. Like going to Gillette, Sunday Night Football, prime time. Those Sully and Murphs are going to be very, very fired up. They want to shut up everybody. They do have a lot of it of pride and all that stuff. I think it's going to be a much crazier atmosphere than what the Dolphins had to face, where basically it was home team West Coast. Like that's, so Tyreek Hill can wish that people are going to be, there's going to be a bunch of Dolphin fans calling Mac Jones sorry. They may do that, but it may just be Patriots fans who are boning because Xavier Howard has a pick six and Javon Holland sacks him and Christian Wilkins is dancing all over him. That's what would cause them to call Mac Jones sorry. They may do that. It just, I don't think it's going to be Dolphin fans doing it. So not having that support, it's going to be a big test. But if the Dolphins can get this and they're coming home for a home debut against a Denver team people aren't thinking very much of, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm doing the thing McDaniel's telling me not to do. The point is, they can't overlook this game. They can't start piling up and start talking about where they're at. They need to get this one done. And if they can, they are in the catbird seat, whatever the hell that means, and they're in a really, really good place. So it's important to take care of their business with this one coming up on Sunday night.